tardes. ¿Cómo estás, Juanito? Buenas tardes a todos ustedes. Están escuchando WLTH 1370 y 92.7 también. Y claro, en nuestra página de YouTube, que es para amigos. Hola, Roberto. Hello, Robert. Hello, Fred. And Coquis, ¿cómo estás? Saludos a todos los que nos están viendo.
Okay, so we got a brand, I got a brand new book. It's called the Book of Best Love Bible Verses, of which I am using for this year. I didn't want to go and go through the same book that I used last year for Jesus Daily. And of course, today is Friday, March the 1st, el primero día de marzo, el viernes. And I'll just keep it at the Jesus Daily for today. It's titled Reflecting Our Maker. God created human beings in his own image. In the image of God, he created them, male and female. He created them. At the most basic level, being made in the image of God means humans somehow resemble our Maker, though we are not divine. We are like God. Example, we reflect his nature in important and unique ways. We possess intellectual gifts, emotional capacities, and volitional powers that far transcend those of lesser creatures. We have exquisite creative ability. We are wired for relational intimacy. Our souls hunger for love and justice. Despite all our glaring flaws and irritating quirks, humans are still something to behold. Take time today to praise God for the people who he has placed in your life. Authentic life is to image God ever more closely by becoming like Jesus Christ, the express image of the Father. Ladies and gentlemen, reflecting our Maker for this Friday, March the 1st of 2019, my Jesus Daily, our Jesus Daily. So this is Nuestra Comunidad NWI. It's the only bilingual that's English, Spanish, en inglés y en español programa que la señorita Eva y yo mismo tenemos desde el año 30 al año 2010, el día 30 del mes de octubre. So what do you got for this afternoon in terms of any announcements?
Well, we've been diligently working on some projects and events, and of course, just continue to watch, continue to learn, listen and learn and grow. And we've been really putting out there, doing a lot of footwork. If you guys get to see it at the train stations, Gary or East Chicago, which I didn't get a chance to drop some off today in Gary, we have flyers that are coming out, and that's for Stop Bullying Solution Focused Conference in East Chicago at East Chicago Church, March 8th. I'm sorry. Limited seating, so we need you to actually register. It's free, but you need to register so that way we know the count for food and refreshments. Go to www.stopbullying.today. So please go now, ages 7 to 16. For questions, call 219-742-7699. Must be by a parent, a family member. Register at stopbullying.today.
Mhm.
It is an awesome, that's going to be so powerful. It's impacting our youth, but most of all, we're focusing on solutions. We're going to have experts there. We're doing a panel. We're doing a panel of experts. We're going to have that Q&A. We're also going to have some local artists. If your kids like rap, then they need to come and join us with some rap, some awesome rap to listen to. And of course, is by music by Danny Camacho and RJ Griffith. The doors will open at 6 p.m. and the program starts at 6:45. This is a free conference and is designed for parents and students ages 7 to 16. If an 18-year-old comes, we're not going to turn you away. So we'll have food, prices, breakout sessions, entertainments. Get inspired with the panelists. experts. So one of the experts that their office will be there, that's the Mid-America Counseling and Therapy will be there. Representatives from their office will be there with information that our parents will need. We often talk about the problems and not enough about the solutions. So we're actually going to talk about that. And we have a surprise skit, if you will. I went over the script yesterday at our meeting to the committee members, and I mean, it teary-eyed. It got me choked up to finish reading the play. And so please make it an effort to come to this Stop Bullying conference. It'll be different than what you're used to seeing or hearing. In our panels, we're going to have Adria Williams, or I'm sorry, Adria Robbins, and also Mark Gavin. He's the chairperson of ROC, which is Reclaiming Our Kids organization. We're also going to have Dr. Sandra. She is the office with Dr. Gopal with Mid-America, and we're going to have a few other speakers that will be coming on to speak to our parents and speak to our youth. We've often been reading, or lately I've been sharing a lot of our children committing suicide. And Juan, have you looked into this mumu? Do you even know what that is?
No,
You mean you haven't heard? Mumu?
I don't know.
Oh my goodness. Get with the program, Juanito. Well, this mumu thing actually looks kind of creepy. And I will say this, that it's a poor taste. And you know me, I'm going to speak it like I see it and how I smell it. This Momo thing is actually an awareness to bring to the parents about it happening on the internet, how it kind of subliminally sends you message, and the youth listen to it, and it tells you to do things. It is the Momo or Momo. No, Momo. That's it. I'm right. I'm sorry. The Momo challenge that encourages kids to commit suicide. Do you know how important it is to talk about this one? And what's worse, when I said that the schools have a bad taste for this, how they decided to go about bringing awareness to these kids is by sending this home with the kids. We got 5-year-old kids. Parents have brought it out to the public where the kids are actually tripping in a bad way. Listen.
Is speaking out after her young son
Just
came
listen real
across the
quick.
video.
This is important.
Jenna Rowe has her warning for all parents tonight.
Kids YouTube.
7-year-old Tanner Markham knows how to navigate a smartphone.
Dr. Squish.
His favorite games and videos are right at his fingertips.
We didn't really think anything of it at first.
Mom Sarah Markham thought sites like YouTube Kids were safe.
When we
Yeah,
put him to
YouTube
bed,
videos
he would
teaching
be
you how to
scared
commit
and be like,
suicide.
well, what about Momo?
Momo? She didn't recognize the name, but Tanner couldn't sleep, so they took him to a child therapist.
Momo came up, and then the therapist was asking more about it, and he actually got my phone and said, okay, Google, show me Momo.
Oh, look at this.
Momo's going to kill you.
This terrifying face is circulating the web, interrupting kids' videos on YouTube.
Oh, that's creepy out. It had a V-shaped mouth.
Momo terrified Tanner.
Nightmares.
But the creature is not just scary. It's a message that has child psychologists concerned.
This very frightening looking figure is telling them you should kill yourself, and this is how.
Look in their eyes.
There's nothing funny about that. There's nothing cute about that, and it's extraordinarily harmful.
I need to sign up.
The Markhams are doing things differently around their house now.
I have to watch YouTube with her. I can't just watch it in my room by myself. Just be aware of what your kids are watching. They shouldn't watch scary videos anymore.
In Tooele, Jenna Rowe, 2 News.
And that is disturbing.
Why the Momo challenge came to be? No one knows for sure. The bizarre image was created by a Japanese artist, and he had nothing to do with
it.
Turned it into this possibly viral game.
And this Momo creature looking thing is frightening our youth, that is causing them to have nightmares at night. So it was a bad taste in a bad way that elementary schools, I know in Hammond, I don't know any other schools. I know several schools in Hammond, one in particular, well, I happen to know the parents that their child goes to, and their children has had nightmares because of this looking face of this Momo. They could have kept the picture off these letters and just have the children hand it to their parents. So it was a poor choice for the schools to do it that way. If that was my child, I would have already been at the school first thing in the morning or that same day after seeing what our child looked at. So
Okay.
beware. This
All right.
Momo challenge.
East Chicago's got their, and of course, a lot of communities out there have their Little League coming up. And of course, you have to register for Little League registration in East Chicago. So for more information about registration for the Little League, please call Joe at 775-5668. That's Joe at 219-775-5668. This is tomorrow from 12 noon at the Glen Park Theater at 20 West Ridge Road in Gary, Indiana. It is a 2019 Public Legislative Forum, which will feature Representative Dr. Vernon G. Smith, Representative Reagan Hatcher, Senator Lonnie M. Randolph, and Senator Eddie Melton. This is a great opportunity to get out and hear what's going on in our state capital as it relates to proposed legislation that would affect everyone in the state of Indiana. And an opportunity for the public that is there to ask questions of our legislators. Of course, we got our high school reunion coming up for the class of 1976, but we are also opening up our class reunion to all the alum from Washington High School coming up on Thursday, July the 25th, the 26th, and the 27th. It is a 3-day event, and all of it is just for a total of $175. The meet and greet will have a great dinner, and the bar is open at casual attire. Each event separately has its own separate cost, but why not come out to all 3 days? It's only a total of $175. And it is open to all the alum from Washington High School, not just the class of 1976. Go to our ECW class of 1976 43rd class reunion Facebook page. We also have an ad book that we're seeking ads for, and cheesecake that we're selling. Cheesecake.
How much are the cheesecakes?
They vary by price, but they're
What's from starting at what price
like
to what?
maybe around $17 and so forth to about $21.
So they're good size?
Yes.
Okay.
Hammond Hispanic Community Committee will be having their 3rd annual scholarship dinner dance coming up on Friday, April the 26th from 6 to 10:30 p.m. The featured speaker will be Alexis Vasquez Dilo, co-owner of WJOB at 12:30, Lake County Judicial Officer, courtroom number 5. It will be at the St. James Hall, 9640 Kennedy Avenue in Highland, Indiana. $50 per single person, couple 85, table $350, seats of 8. For more information, let me see here. Just go to, was there a phone number here? I see. Okay, well, but it's Hammond Hispanic Community Committee.
Yeah, and go and like on their page. Go like their page. Hammond Community Committee, Hammond Hispanic Community Committee.
Okay. So at this point, I'm going to do what I started doing not too long ago, and this is a little bit old, not current. But I think it's very interesting. And that is, like I said, news is good, news is bad, news is ugly. So I started a segment here on Nuestra Comunidad Northwest Indiana to have at least one piece of good news. And it's called the new good news segment of the day. On this day, Friday, March the 1st of 2019. And get this, once I read it completely, ladies and gentlemen. Hero pit bull breaks out of the home to fetch police and save her family from a gas leak. According to ABC, the Westchester County, New York pit bull somehow slipped out of her home, broke through her yard's fence, and ended up roaming around her neighborhood, barking loudly. All the canine commotion led to a call to local authorities about a loose dog. When the police showed up to where Sadie was standing, the dog took off. The dog then ran and took the officers through several streets and led them back to the dog's residence into the backyard, the lieutenant said. At Sadie's home, the police found a broken fence, an open door, and a smell of gas. East Shore Fire Department and Con Edison were called to the house to investigate the odor and confirmed the smell was from a gas leak in the basement. Without early detection, the leak could have caused an explosion, authorities said. Sadie's owner believes the dog sensed her humans were in danger because this is the only time that the pit bull has run away from home in her 11 years with the Costello family. So here, science showed that Sadie was determined to get out of the house. Police discovered bloodly, let me see here,
Just tear it
blocked
up.
her out of a sliding glass, blood out of a sliding glass door to eventually get out of the house and bring back health. She is our hero. It just so out of character to her to do so. She saved our lives, Sadie's owner, Serena Costello, said. Both Costello and her 4-year-old daughter were out of the house at the time of Sadie's escape. The owner said she is worried about what would have happened when she and her daughter came home if Sadie hadn't stepped in and saved the day. So we have a situation where we had other
that's
animals.
A good situation. It's a nice story.
Somehow had the sense enough to go and get help for their owners and loved ones. And Sadie did her job. And this is the good news story of the day.
Is good
Hero
news.
Pit Bull breaks out of home to fetch
Buenas
police
noticias.
and save her family from gas leak. And this is the good news story for
Buenas nuevas.
today.
Sí. And also, we have our event that's coming up on the 8th as well, Juan. So I'm going to split myself in half.
Mm-hmm.
The first half will be with the Stop Bullying. And I don't think I gave the address, 4429 Olcott Avenue in East Chicago at the East Chicago Church. That will be March 8th. Starting open doors at 6, starting at 6:45. But then we also have our gala, and this is Mardi Gras Gala for the Junior Achievement Organization. I'm humbled and blessed to sit on that board, and I know the importance of that program to continue to have in all the schools. You've been a volunteer to it, so you can attest the importance of having these programs in the schools, but it takes funding, people. We don't get funding from the schools. It's privatization, it's private funding, contributions, donations. We get a share of it from, this is a national organization, Junior Achievement of Chicago. That's who we are under that umbrella of the Chicago. So we get a few, funds from there, but it's basically what we raise funds from. So we're always looking for donations. We're always looking for sponsors. We're always looking for companies to partner with us. So we ask you, you like these programs? The only way we can continue to have these programs, the career day, the money management, critical thinking, all these other programs, as you heard over a week ago when we had Gina, the chair of the board, talk about the importance of it and the programs that we have. It takes dinero. It takes money. So please show up. You can go and look on my Facebook page. The event is there, or look for the event on social media, or also through our website. It's there. And that is through the Chicago branch, Chicago facility. So it's important that you give back. We want to continue to have these programs in your schools, and I'd love to volunteer. And I know Juan does too, and many other professionals like to volunteer and give their time for your student, for your child.
The city of Chicago just had their election. Now on April the 2nd, there's going to be a runoff between the top two vote getters for the mayoral race in the city of Chicago. Of Chicago. As in many cases throughout this country of ours, there was a low turnout of people that came out to vote.
Very low.
And there's no excuse not to go out and vote.
Somebody
and I know I did hear that a lot of people didn't go out and vote, in particular for the mayor's race, because there were too many choices and then they couldn't determine who to vote for.
But they weren't the only ones running, right?
Right. So there were other offices that, and I think some referendums or something that the people, some questions that were on the ballot in addition just to the mayor's race. So now, considering the fact that if it is the case, at least according to this one university and a study that they made, that Chicago is the most corrupt city in the country.
Yeah, that's sad.
You got a choice of two candidates, two women candidates, two African-American candidates. Which one will work to clean up the city of Chicago when it comes to public corruption, because that's who you want to look for out of the two, as opposed to elect one that maybe might continue. And I don't know that much about either one. But to the citizens of Chicago, come out and vote. Come out and vote. You cannot stay home, because if you think
I mean, you can't,
things
Juan.
may be bad in Chicago right now, who you elect can work to make it even worse. Not that they're actually doing it, but things happen. Things happen.
And then we complain, right? When they do happen. Well, your voice is in your vote. And I think that the millennials must have missed it. And also the Latinos, the Hispanic, what happened? Wake up. Despierten. Aquí estamos en América. Despierten.
On May the 7th is our election here in the state of Indiana. So we have the mayor's race. We have the council or city council races. We have the clerk treasurer or clerk office up for election. We have the city or town judges up for election in our cities and towns throughout the state of Indiana. And I don't know if there's any other offices that are going to be up for the upcoming May 7th election in the state of Indiana. Come out again to vote. And you don't even have to vote on election day. You can vote early, but make sure you do come out and vote, and don't let that go by, because this is part of our responsibility as good citizens. And to all the candidates out there, whether you're Democrat, Republican, Independent, whatever the case may be, if you would like to advertise your candidacy on Nuestra Comunidad in Northwest Indiana, contact Eve or myself, and we'll make arrangements for you to advertise your candidacy on our program. As who just was on our program that's a candidate for city court judge?
That was Renee Ortega.
Okay, so
East Chicago.
and we welcome many other candidates, regardless of party. If you want to advertise your candidacy on our program, get in contact with Eve or
I will say this: it behooves of you. You're gonna piggyback on me, Juanito. That you come on our show. Why do you think they need to come on this particular show, Juan? All you political people. Hay gente que vota que habla en español. ¿Cierto o no?
Because we are the only bilingual program, and you can have an opportunity to promote your candidacy both in English and en español. And that's something that we have to offer that
that's right.
Not really out there in the region or beyond. We have the only program.
That's right. Así es que despierten, Despierta America. And I'm not talking about the show Despierta America. I'm talking about you, my American citizens that have a voice for those that don't have a voice. And as you know, we have a voice here for you on this show. So take advantage. If you want to call in 219-885-1371, if you have a question, comment, or you'd like for us to bring something in particular, to bring a topic in particular, or bring an expert in particular, just let us know, because we can't read minds. If we did, I wouldn't be sitting here. I'd be a multi-billionaire.
So my latest, but not my last media project, of course, is From the Heart. And I did another taping yesterday of From the Heart. And it is on behalf of the Area Career Center. It is on behalf of the multimedia students at the Area Career Center, who are my crew, so to speak. And I thank them every time I do a program at the Area Career Center. 2 30-minute shows that then are edited by the students and then put on the YouTube channel for the Area Career Center. And of course, I guess if you go to maybe my name and put it From the Heart, you can also catch my program the other way, that way too, on the YouTube channel. So look for my great other opportunities to do great programming there. So go to the YouTube channel for the Area Career Center. Take a look at all the great projects that the students have been doing there in Hammond, Indiana, under the direction of Miss Stephanie, who's the instructor and director for the multimedia department. And so Central High School also has a multimedia department, and I got to interview Miss Director for the Central High School for the multimedia department, Miss Katrina Alexander, and her supervisor there, who I call Mr. A. Mr. A. Brown, who is her supervisor. And on the first show, Eve also had Mr. Angel Manfredi on our program, From the Heart, because the programs are 30 minutes each. So what I did in his case was for the first 2 minutes first 15 minutes, we sat down at the round table, our chairs, and had a conversation about his facility that he's going to open up, I guess, either in Maryville or in Crown Point, about him being inducted into the Boxers Hall of Fame, a little bit about his career, and about, he talked a bit too about the drugs and alcohol, I guess he was doing during that time period. I also talked about what I do as a probation officer, about people, how they make mistakes and so forth, and how, this affected his career and how he turned his life around. But the second part of the 30-minute show, it was show and tell time. So we got rid of the 2 chairs, we got rid of the table. He had his secretary there who was actually became his sparring partner for the second part of our program, because I wanted him to provide some actual boxing tips on the second part of our program, which he did. So he used his secretary to be
boxing. Okay.
sparring.
So when was this? Is this something new that's coming up?
No, it's yesterday.
Oh, this was just
and
yesterday.
These shows are not live, so they are taped.
Right.
So
stay
the students
tuned.
edit them,
Stay tuned.
and then they come on the program. And I
tuned.
actually have a lot of programs that need to be put on the YouTube channel, but we're doing it slowly but surely. On that note, let's go to today, which is Friday, March the 1st of 2019, which is one way or the other, whether we have a guest or not, Extreme Sabor Latino. And so we're going to talk about, in addition to what I'm going to say this real quickly, I'm going to talk about issues that have to do with Hispanics, and that is this. The title of this real quickly, I'm just going to mention it. I'm going to talk about it. I want to make a point about this. U.S. companies put record number of robots to work in 2018. I'm just going to make a point about this real quickly. U.S. companies put record number of robots to work in 2018. The point about this is this. Under the Trump administration, they just gave big business and industry, in essence, the multi-rich, big breaks when it comes to their corporate business taxes and so forth. The whole purpose of those big tax deductions for big business and industry, in essence, for the millionaires and billionaires, was to invest in your companies and get more people working to work and investing more in those companies. Not to make robots, not to make driverless trucks, not to make driverless taxis, not to make driverless buses, not to make driverless this or that are going to be putting people out of jobs. That, I don't think, was the reason why the administration gave big business and industry these huge tax breaks. I'm just saying this. If big business and industry that got these huge tax breaks continue to do things, automation and this and that are going to be putting people out of work, they need to lose part, if not all, of those huge tax breaks and give them to the people that they should have got them in the first place, not the rich, but the middle class. So it's about 5:41. This is Nuestra Comunidad, Northwest Indiana, with Eve Gomez and myself. We are streaming live on 1370WLTH.com. We are streaming live on our Facebook page for Nuestra Comunidad, Northwest Indiana, and we are streaming live on our YouTube channel for Nuestra Comunidad, Northwest Indiana. When I read this, I said, this is totally crazy, and this is why we have, unfortunately, idiots that are running a lot of our countries, and I'm not just talking about our country. And in this case, an 11-year-old girl got the brunt of this. An 11-year-old girl in Argentina was raped by someone of the age of 65 years of age.
That surprised me.
But get this young lady wanted to have an abortion. This young lady's mother was pushing for this, her 11-year-old daughter, to have an abortion. But that didn't happen because in Argentina, there are certain laws when it comes to an abortion. In this case, she was forced to have an abortion in Argentina because of a law by cesarean section. These countries' laws as it relates to abortion put another dagger in this 11-year-old victim and forced her to have this child that was fathered by a 65-year-old man who I think was the friend of her mother or something to that effect. I don't remember
It
right
usually
now.
happens
But the
when you
point
got a
is
family
this.
member near you.
Crazy laws put together by crazy people. And you know what? Most of these countries, the people that run these countries in the world are run by men. Let me say this again. Most of the leaders in most of the countries in this world of ours are run by men. Argentina is no different. This young lady took a double dagger, being raped and being forced to have her child, which I think did not make it upon being cesarean section, if that's the proper word there. So, what can I say about this? We need more women in power. We need more women in business. We need more women in government leadership
Yes.
positions
Sí se puede.
and everywhere around.
That's right.
And you know what? I'll say
Oh,
this
I
here
feel
because
short.
just like you have men that are good, bad, and ugly, I'll say this again, or I'll say it, you also have women that are good, bad, and ugly that are in key positions right now and don't do the right thing by being in those positions. So do you remember right here where a woman at Mexican restaurant swears in Spanish at the Spanish speaking manager?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Did
I
you
shared
know?
that video.
Do you know anything about the woman that was doing that?
No, I didn't look into it, but I'm sure you did. So
Yes.
speak on that.
She's Hispanic.
That doesn't surprise me.
That's crazy.
No.
Why?
I dated
Okay.
I dated
Explain that.
somebody.
Explain
I
that.
dated somebody.
Explain that.
May I?
No. Okay.
Child abuse here.
Child abuse.
You guys saw it live on Facebook,
That's crazy.
live on YouTube,
Okay, explain it then.
and on streaming.
Okay.
He's beating over here. If you have American Latinos, if you will, that are born here
Mhm.
from the Hispanic descent, whether they're Puerto Rican, Mexican, whatever they are, that do not speak the Spanish language. I remember I dated someone years ago and did not like the thought of someone speaking Spanish. And his comment was, we're in America.
Mhm.
They should learn how to speak English. Ignorant, of course, that's ignorance was speaking. And I was not going to listen to that because I said, then you shouldn't be talking to me. You shouldn't be dating me because Spanish is my first language, which Spanish is such a romantic language. And so that is an issue with some Mexican Americans that are from the Hispanic descent that are not educated. And in their mind, this is a land of the melting pot, but this is a one language country when they're so wrong. So the woman may have had a bad experience that got her to feel that way, whether it be from her family or relatives. I don't know because I don't know that woman. But it happens. It doesn't surprise me.
Okay,
Nothing
Eve,
surprises me.
let me continue on what you just said. Good point.
But it wasn't
But
the
this
case.
is even crazier.
Okay, well, tell us.
She's undocumented. They called ICE on her.
On who? On
The lady
English-speaking
that
woman?
swore at the guy for speaking Spanish.
Did you double check that media?
I didn't, but
Who's the
that's
source?
what it said.
Who's the
I don't have
source?
that one article, or I don't know if it's in here or not. But she is undocumented and may be on here, and they called ICE on her. So now they took her in, and now she's got to go to a hearing. And if you're
Stupid.
okay, that's crazy.
Stupid is what stupid does.
That's
So
crazy.
you guys hear Juan? He said she's. I don't know who's the source. Juan, you have to say it because we views expressed by the host are not necessarily the views of WLTH Radio, management owners and sponsors. And
I do print out a lot of stuff from
yes,
the
you do.
internet.
You kill a lot of trees.
You kill a lot of trees. This is NBC News. Okay, it is. The author is Nicole Acevedo, and that is NBC News. And the title of the article: "Woman at Mexican Restaurant Swears at Spanish-Speaking Manager." The point is,
it's crazy.
She's
but it happens.
She's Hispanic or Latino, which way you want to say that. It's crazy,
but it happens.
And she's undocumented, and she did that, and she wound up getting taken in by
You read the whole entire article?
Yes. But
okay.
So that's the
Mira
story.
nomás qué locuras,
That's crazy,
pero no
crazy,
me
crazy.
sorprende. Juanito, a mí no me sorprende lo que es absolutamente nada porque está escrito en la Biblia. Did you know that?
U.S. moves forward with the proposal to end
Yeah.
work permits for immigrant spouses. Have you read that?
Go ahead, read it.
The proposed regulation was officially delivered to the Office of Management and Budget for review Wednesday. This goes back a few days. According to a government database, which means the Department of Homeland Security has finished its work on the policy. Changes to the visa program were first discussed in 2017, according to U.S. Citizenship Immigration Services spokesperson. The rule change would strip employment authorization from the spouses of H-1B visa recipients who are on track for green cards to work in the United States. The H-1B program attracts foreign specialized workers, many of them from India and China, to come to the U.S. for employment. The news really is the rule. Okay, the news really is the rule, is finally moving forward as a proposal in a formal way, said William Stock, an immigration lawyer from Philadelphia and past president of the American Immigration Lawyer Association. USCIS spokeswoman Jessica Collins said that in a statement to NBC News that the agency continues to review all employment-based visa programs, including employment authorization documents for 4-H visa. So they're looking to, like I said, deal with in any way, shape, or form to limit who comes in and how many comes in and their statuses and so forth, and including any programs that are here in this country.
Mhm.
And if you, ladies and gentlemen, if you watch and listen to the radio and everything else about this president and his administration, most people go into politics clean, and for some reason or another,
Come out
they
dirty.
come out dirty.
Lávense,
In
báñense.
this president's case, who knows how far back before he even got into business,
Right.
he's been dirty. He's a dirty businessman. He's a dirty president. And you know what? When this is all said and done, I've heard now that all of his sons and daughters and son-in-law may be facing certain legal issues. You know why?
Híjole.
It's called nepotism. When
Híjole.
President Trump became the president, one of the first things he did was bring on his family, nepotism. And when it's all said and done, he may wind up regretting, but we don't know. Mueller's report is supposed to be coming up sometime soon, and that can have a big determining factor on what's going to happen, if anything, to this president or not. But the next time this president runs, whereas before he never ran for president of the United States, for example, he will now have a record. A lot of people are going to be saying 4 more years, 4 more
Right.
years.
Nah, you think a lot of people are going to be
Some
saying
people
that?
might be saying he may be looking at 10 to 20, if you know what I mean.
That was good one. 50, 51 minutes after the hour. I know, Juan, you love it when I laugh, but you need to do a lot more of that.
I do laugh.
Right,
Dave.
everybody?
I laugh on the
People
inside,
are like,
okay?
no. You need
Yeah,
to share what God gave you from the inside out. People need to feel it and share it. It's not meant for you to keep it, man. I'm telling you.
So,
Juan?
Eve.
Yes?
So, you know, it's about 10:52 p.m.
10:52.
I'm sorry, 5:52. 5:52.
Dang, you just like zoom, pass this up.
Right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have some great programs coming up each and every Friday and each and every Saturday, whether we have a guest or not. But I know Eve already said she's going to split herself in 2 on the 8th. But on the 8th, I will be at the studio, and we are going to be having a very great show with a special guest coming on who is going to be a partner, a paying partner with Nuestra
That
Comunidad
sounds good
NWI.
to me. When
So-
there's
so-
cha-ching, come on.
And-
The air is not free.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're a candidate,
Hallelujah.
if you're a
It causes
candidate,
illness.
if you're a not-for-profit organization, if you are a business, whatever the case may be,
A ver.
get in contact with Eve or myself so you can advertise
Yes,
on our
advertise with
program.
us.
And at the same time,
You want to
you
spread the
help
love? Come
keep
on.
our program going.
Or I'm going to go. Juan, I'm going to
You're
go.
gonna go.
I'm going to go. I'm a world
The
traveler.
restroom's
Stay
over
tuned.
there, but
I didn't say that. Don't be putting your arm on my face. Did you just see it? No, I'll do it on
Yeah.
Well, I want to congratulate Dr. Gopal. I don't know if she's listening or watching or anyone from our committee. Dennis Hodges, I was looking for his press release, had created a press release. She'll be coming on tomorrow to discuss a few things, but I do want to congratulate her. I got the letter here in front of me. Did the reporter call you? Oh, is there a caller?
No.
We have a caller. All right. Go ahead, caller. You're on the air.
Number of us are listening to you and Juan, and we want to let you know that we'd like you to keep up the good work. It's excellent conversation.
Wonderful.
And a number of us will be calling in the next time you guys are on.
Awesome. Well, we'll be back on tomorrow. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Thank
So what I was saying, and a few minutes left, the 7th Congressional District Multi-Ethnic Advisory Talk Force, which is MEET-F, is hosting its 7th Annual International Women's Day. And felicidades a todas mis mujeres. Celebrate women. People, don't be so stuck up on the crabs in a bucket mentality. Let's celebrate each other as women, as Latinas, as Black and brown, as a whole enchilada. You know what I mean? Let's stop being envious. Let's come together. So I want to congratulate Dr. Gopal. This is for the 7th Annual International Women's Day celebration, honoring the top 20 global women of excellence. Did you hear what I just said? Top 20 global women of excellence, March 8th, 9th, and 10th. That's of 19 here this year at the Waterford Convention Center, River Drive in Elmhurst, Illinois. The theme for their celebration is Balance for Better. Like that. So congratulations to who have been named as one of the top 20 global women of excellence. The reception for outstanding work or recognition for their outstanding work. The award ceremony is being held on March 9th at 6 p.m. I will do my best, Dr. Gopal, to be there in your honor and to support. I want to thank her. She is one of the awardees. Thank you for accepting this this panel speaker roundtable meet with women improvement on Saturday, March 9th and 10th at 1:30. There will be a roundtable meet that provides an open platform to feature their work and their accomplishments and their innovative experience, which have encouraged thought-provoking debates all over the global, all our global honorees like Dr. Gopal. Of course, I'm just blessed and humbled to have met her, and I call her my friend. So this brought to you by the members of Congress. This is a letter that was sent to Dr. Gopal, and she shared it with us as the Committee of Safe Coalition for Human Rights. Continue to watch, continue to learn, continue to listen, continue to grow. We are working on a project, and Dr. Gopal will come on tomorrow. We want to hear from her. She has an extensive bio. Portfolio of many things that she's been doing in the community, statewide, nationally as well, and internationally. So I want to congratulate her here on Nuestra Comunidad. As some of you have seen her come on the radio, she'll be back tomorrow morning, not here in the studio, but she'll be calling in. So felicidades a nuestras mujeres. Congratulations to all our women internationally. I love you guys. Keep up the great work.
All right, let me say this. Ladies and gentlemen, March is Fish Fry Month, not only for St. Pat's, for a lot of other churches within the region and beyond. So I happen to say and know for sure that we have one of the best fish fries at St. Pat's Church. So stay tuned for that. Things happen, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
And sometimes they happen in churches. I've been a long-time member of St. Patrick's Church. And so this Sunday, March the 3rd, we are losing one of our masses, one of our English masses. So if you've ever been a past member of St. Pat's, this Sunday will be our last 8:30 a.m. English Mass on Sundays. We will now be having one Mass on Sundays, being the Spanish Mass, which is growing at 10 o'clock as opposed to its normal 10:30 a.m. time. And we are still going to be having our 4 o'clock English Mass on Saturdays at St. Pat's. So maybe at times I'll be going to the Spanish Mass. Maybe at other times I'll be going to the 4 o'clock English Mass. So if you ever been a member of St. Pat's or just gone to St. Pat's here and there, I want to take the opportunity to come out to the last 8:30 a.m. Mass, English Mass, this Sunday at St. Patrick's Church. And you know what? Things happen in a lot of churches, not just in the Catholic Church, but
the majority is happening in the Catholic
you know
Church.
Father just said
Let's
too,
just keep it real.
you have a bunch of priests that are retiring,
and they're doing the wrong thing too.
And only one priest that's being ordained.
You know what I think the main problem is when it comes?
Yes, that the Catholic Church needs to open up, allowing
tithe.
No, well, yeah, that's one thing. That's another thing.
10%. You know, quit talking about other people's churches that got money.
Allow women to become Catholic priests is another issue.
Well,
if women want to give their life to God in the Catholic Church, the Pope and the leadership need to allow
that's the rich city where the Pope is. That's where the money's going.
Women to
come
become
on, share the love, Pope.
Priests, and that's the other thing.
Spread the love,
There's
Pope.
a lot of issues, and it's not just in the Catholic
Church. It shouldn't
Church.
just be there, but that's where your money's going.
What it means to me is I'll be able to watch all my political talk shows on Sunday mornings.
Did you hear that? So it's a plus for him.
I'm still going to church. I'm still going to.
Okay, you said look at the. Do you tithe? It's in the Bible. Not the answer is no.
You don't know. Okay.
You better watch it. Please pray for my buddy Juanito. Don't matter.
One way or the other. One way or the other. All the money that we give, whether here or there, it all goes to the church.
Stop the press. It's a tithe.
Yeah, but
that's offering.
Whatever we do for the church, money, and a lot of it is money.
That's a different program, guys, and we're gonna talk about that soon. And before we go, we want to thank Coquis. In case you didn't know, Coquis Reyes. You know she's the artista that does Frida Kahlo. Frida. Gracias por parte de Frida que nos está invitando al Día Internacional de la Mujer. Artista será Coquis Reyes, Atzimba Pérez, she's the chef there, Sandra Montenegro, tomorrow for brunch, cupo limitado. ¿Dónde va a ser? Es 1758 al oeste de la 19 calle en Pilsen. Go to atzimbaperez.com. Gracias por la invitación, Coquis. Se le agradece mucho. Thank you, guys. Okay. We'll be back tomorrow at 10.
At 10 o'clock?
Wait. Okay. Before we get at 2 o'clock, you guys better be ready in front of your phones, your laptops, your devices, your smart devices, because I have such an interesting, amazing interview. I'm going to leave you on this. Do you remember that crystal skull that was shown, that was used in the movie with Indiana Jones? Well, I'm going to personally be right in front of it. So stay tuned tomorrow at 2 o'clock. But we'll talk tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Nos vemos, Juanito.
Yep.
We got to go. Oh, Evie may get on the stage. Hobart Theater. We're going to go karaoke on stage. I may decide to go up on stage if you guys want to hear me sing.
No,
peace to you guys. Hey.
So I got to drop you off and then shoot.
Okay, so before we talk over here, thank you so much, my YouTubers and our Facebookers. I know that there was a freeze here and there for the connection, but we thank you for joining with us. We thank you for watching us. We thank you for calling in. Please don't be shy. Call in. I know that I tell Juan, just because they don't call in doesn't mean they're not listening. And I know this how, because when they see us in the community, when they see me, they let me know. So I appreciate you guys calling in. 219-885-1371. Se les agradece por estar aquí con nosotros. Mañana a las 10 de la mañana regresamos. No se les olvide aquí en WLTH AM 1370 y 92.7 FM y también aquí en Facebook y en YouTube. Así es que no se lo pierdan mañana a las 10 y también a las 2 de la tarde en mi Facebook, en mi página de Facebook. Va a estar Juanito ahí conmigo. Vamos a grabar lo que es una entrevista con alguien fenomenal de una calavera de cristal. Una calavera de cristal que estaba en la película de who was that? Indiana Jones. So stay tuned and watch it. All right. Peace to you guys. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And continue to grow. Come on. Let's do things. All right. Peace to you guys. Hasta la próxima. Nos vemos. Hold on, hon. Okay. Hit done. All right. Peace to you guys. Thanks. I'm going to have to work on the